Right now at 4, Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davison is speaking publicly for the first time since announcing his resignation. I'm Colby Thielen, what he told us about his next chapter coming up. Plus, Oklahoma County issues a burn ban for the first time in 4 years. Why they say state law stopped those bans from being issued and the push of the Capitol to change that. It's ahead.
Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Megan Gold. High fire danger today, hot temperatures and strong south winds. Cold front hits tonight. We'll talk about your forecast coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Thursday morning. Glad you're with us here. Yeah, we were just talking about how dry it is. Played in the backyard with the kids a little yesterday. Should have worn shoes. The grass itself hurt. The grass itself.
Because it's so crunchy. It's so crunchy and dry.
Yes. So we desperately need the rain. It's going to be a while. So the fire danger, big time for today.
Yeah. So we have fire threats today, tomorrow, into the weekend, really next week until the pattern changes to that wet and active pattern that we've talked about. So we have had Oklahoma County added to the burn ban list for the first time since 2022.
Years. That's wild.
Yeah, it is. So today, a large majority of Oklahoma, Tulsa, OKC, all the way down to Altus, including the Panhandle, humidity will be lowest out in the west and winds gusting to 40, maybe an isolated gust to 45. We added Pottawatomie County and Seminole County to this list and Oklahoma County as well. So 21 counties now. And I don't think it would be a bad idea if we added a few more, especially back into western Oklahoma where the drought continues to rage on. What you're seeing here, all these little red dots are fires from yesterday. And the one that was really the biggest issue was a fire near Foss and Butler, and this fire burned 193 acres, and our winds were really not out of control yesterday. Gusts 30 to 35, maybe an isolated gust to 40, and the good news, even with evacuations, there were no structures lost, and that's exactly what we want. But the concern is there again today, also for your Friday and into your Sunday as well. Here's the live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network. 66 degrees out the door right now. Clear skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. And the low 70s. Oklahoma City's record warm low of 67 degrees. We have officially dropped below that, but it goes to show just how warm it is out the door. We'll talk more about the rest of today, your Friday, the weekend. It's coming up.
And that is really the big story today. Several counties across the state under a burn ban, including right here in the metro. The last time Oklahoma County issued a burn ban, as Megan mentioned, back in 2022. That is until yesterday. Oklahoma County Director of Emergency Management David Barnes says that's because of a strict state requirement. He says state law requires right now counties to reach a severe drought level before a burn ban can be issued. But a Senate bill is working to give local officials more flexibility.
We can be more proactive as opposed to waiting. Okay, I've got to wait till it dries out some more. But in the meantime, we could have significant issues, and we've seen that occur.
So Senate Bill 1550 removes the 3 levels of drought conditions required to issue a burn ban. Under the bill, county commissioners can also issue a burn ban for 7 days with a unanimous vote if there is a significant threat to public safety. That bill is now waiting to be heard on the Senate floor. A man charged in a DUI crash that took the life of a Canadian county woman pleads guilty. We first brought you this story last year when Mustang police say Teresa Matthews was killed and 3 others were hurt after their SUV was rear-ended. Court documents say the driver, David Gellenbeck, then left the scene. His sentencing now set for April 30th. Norman police say an officer is back at home after they were hospitalized following a crash. Investigators say that officer was responding to a crash with lights and sirens on Tuesday night when another driver turned in front of that officer, causing the crash. That officer was treated at the hospital and released yesterday morning. The other driver wasn't hurt. Right now, this crash is under investigation.
From the time he was a little boy, Brian wanted to be a firefighter. And for 35 years, he lived that dream.
He would leave his home in the middle of the night to come serve this community, putting out fires, going on medical calls. Why? Because he loved you. He cared about you.
A heartbroken community says goodbye to fallen Goldsby Volunteer Fire Chief Brian Jenkins. He and fellow firefighter Todd Pendleton died last Friday morning after crashing on their way to a call. Yesterday, loved ones and fellow first responders packed Goldsby Church to honor his decades of service to his community and devotion as a father and as a friend. A memorial service for Todd Pendleton is set for this Saturday in Norman. It's at Victory Family Church at 10 a.m. Flags across the state are flying at half-staff through Saturday in their honor. Fellow Oklahomans are stepping in to help both of those firefighters' families during this difficult time. One man, known as the old truck guy, says he's raised $15,000 in donations with the help of Vintage Truck Giveaway. He says that check is now in the hands of those families. 4:05 right now, Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davidson is speaking publicly for the first time since resigning. His resignation comes after a judge granted a protective order against him tied to sexual harassment allegations. News 9's Deanne Stein spoke with him.
The District 3 commissioner spoke briefly after Wednesday's board meeting. He says he won't miss politics and is looking forward to his next chapter. It was business as usual at Wednesday's Board of County Commissioners meeting. Miles Davidson's first appearance since filing his resignation late last week. While his departure wasn't discussed during the meeting, we caught up with him afterward.
There's a lot of things to get done.
Among the unfinished business, he said, is building the new county jail, a project he has been instrumental in working to complete.
The jail is a great project. It's going to help Oklahoma County out extensively. It'll help reduce people's property taxes by, keeping us out of litigation and people dying inside that jail.
The biggest hurdle is paying for the jail, which is still facing a $500 million shortfall to build.
Hopefully whoever comes in next, continues to move the ball forward and doesn't stay in the stagnation that Oklahoma County's been in for the past 30 years.
Davidson didn't say if his resignation is tied to a 3-year protective order over sexual harassment claims, but he did respond when asked if he had any emotions about leaving office.
No, not at all. Just ready for it all to be over with, and we'll move forward.
Now, Davidson's last day is April 3rd, and he plans to work outside of government. His chief deputy will take over his position until a new commissioner is elected later this year. In Oklahoma City, Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
And as far as the sexual harassment allegations against Davidson, Oklahoma Attorney General Gettner Drummond says there's not enough evidence to file charges in that case. A bill that could have allowed Oklahoma counties to close the funding gap to build the county jail by creating a medical marijuana sales tax fails on the House floor. House Bill 3314 would have allowed counties to add a 15% sales tax on marijuana sales to go toward first responders and dilapidated properties. It failed early this morning, 45 to 50, early yesterday morning, I should say. Oh, it was this morning. Okay, my mistake. It was early this morning. A separate bill in the Senate would allow counties to create a 10% tax to be used for public safety and infrastructure. It is waiting to be heard on the Senate floor. A bill requiring people charged with domestic violence to wear GPS ankle monitors passes unanimously out of the state Senate. This would apply to those charged in violent domestic abuse cases involving a deadly weapon or strangulation. They would have to wear GPS tracker in order to get out on bail.
This bill does target high-risk domestic violence cases. Research consistently shows that strangulation and use of weapons are major red flags for homicide risk.
The bill would also allow the victim to get phone alerts if the abuser's location is close by. That bill now heads for the House for consideration. And let's stay at the state capitol, taking a live look there from our Lucky Star Skycam network. Today is the deadline for lawmakers to pass bills out of the chamber where it was authored. If not, those bills will not move forward for the rest of the session. The Senate will start hearing bills at 8:30 this morning. The House starts at 9. That's probably the reason they had such a late session last night. I was like, wait, it was 12. It was after 12. So there you go. And let's take a live look at the Bob Mills Arena Cam this morning as city officials are set to break ground on the new home for the Oklahoma City Thunder today. The $1 billion Continental Coliseum set to open in time for the 2028 NBA season. Crews will officially break ground at 10 this morning, and we'll be there. Our Kylie Dedman's going to kick off our coverage starting at 4:30. Tune in then. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan Gold standing by. It's going to be maybe not a hot ground breaking, but certainly a hot day. By the time they start breaking ground, it'll be a little on the cooler side, we hope.
Yeah, today is another very, very warm day. Highs will be record-tying 92 for a high this afternoon. And we have high fire danger. That's really the big concern for the day today. We need rain so badly, and south winds today are going to gust to 40, 45 miles per hour. Low humidity, those hot temperatures, and a large majority of Oklahoma included in our high fire threat. Winds are going to ramp up after the sun comes up and will gust to 40 for most of your Thursday. Cold front hits tonight, a strong north wind for tomorrow with more fire danger. We'll talk all about your forecast coming up.
And still ahead, making art and making memories. How a program at an Oklahoma City museum is making art available for everyone. It's after the break, and this morning, something good. Welcome back. We're talking fire danger today. Oklahoma County issuing a burn ban for the first time in 4 years.
It's a big deal.
It's a large fire zone. I mean, this is over half the state.
And really here over the next 9 days, we have a good 6-7 days of high fire danger until we get this pattern change that we have been talking about. So
talking wind speeds at what?
30, 40 to even 50 miles per hour tomorrow morning.
Be smart. Be smart.
Yeah, exactly. There's everything. There's a lot of things that all of us can do. Don't park on high grass. Don't throw your cigarettes out the window, and don't drag a chain. So just remember today, one of those days. Tomorrow, one of those days as well. And then we have numerous days next week where the winds are strong as well. And guys, we're not going to be out of this until we get some rain. The pattern change is coming. We've just got to get through it. So again, high fire danger for today. That is the headline. line it has been since back on Valentine's Day that we had more than 1/4 inch of rain. And back into western, northwestern Oklahoma, it has been even longer. So for today, another day of record-breaking or record-tying heat, I should say. And then tomorrow, we get a pattern change in terms of our temperatures. With a strong cold front coming in, we switch to a strong north wind tomorrow. Highs in the 50s and the 60s. Normal for this time of year is 67. So we're going to be below that, and we've only been below normal temperature-wise 2 days this month. So that's a big deal for us. It'll cool us down and then we quickly warm it right back up. But we're going to have high fire danger tomorrow just with a strong north wind. Taking you back to yesterday, a new record of 91 degrees in Oklahoma City. Clinton out to Elk City, 94, 95 degrees. Altus, 95. And up into the Panhandle, we had temperatures near the triple-digit mark. Now, yesterday, our winds were not out of control by any means. We had gusts 25, 30 to even 35 miles per hour here in the metro, back to Hobart, Altus, Woodward, but that was just enough with the low humidity to have a few large fires take off. Off into eastern Oklahoma, a lot of these were prescribed burns, but several of these were wildfires that went up. The one in our area was the fire that actually prompted evacuations near Foss. Really, Butler to the south was that evacuation zone. We had 193 acres burned, and thank goodness no structures lost. We had Bob Mills, Sky News 9 up in the air as these firefighters were working to fight this fire in control room. If we could take that video, and I'll show you here what that scene looked like. Thankfully, the winds were light enough to have some air support, and it looks like there we go. These cedar trees, I mean, just going up, and we talk so much about how dangerous those are to have on your property. So if you can get rid of those, I would absolutely recommend it. There's our mason done up in the air, and there's that air support coming in and dropping hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water. And remember, also with the super scoopers, we can have those that can come and help as well. So we'll take you back to Lynx 1, but just amazing footage there for today. And there's all those acres burned. It's just heartbreaking to see. Again, thankfully, no houses, homes, structures lost that we know of. We do have a cold front that moves through overnight tonight. That's up to the north. Wind advisories for tomorrow because of how strong our winds will be. And that heat dome is still in control, and temperatures today back into the 90s. Here's the live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. 66 is our temperature right now, near record warm temperatures this morning. Jones down to Midwest City, 70 degrees, 71 in Guthrie, 66 in Minco to Hinton, and 68 in Watonga. The record warm low is 67. So we have fallen below that, but I just wanted to show you how significant our warmth is this morning. South winds 10 to 20 right now, a few gusts to 30 up in the north and west. And when the sun comes up, winds will increase 35 to 40 miles per hour. They will be strong through the day and then start to come down as we head towards sunset. Cold front approaches from the north overnight tonight, and we switch to a north wind. Here are your highs for today: 100 in Guyman and Alva, 94 in Hobart, and 92 in Oklahoma City. The cold front presses through overnight. Temperatures will be above normal for areas to the south, and there is a chance for a little drizzle and light rain, enough to wet the pavement, not a huge deal. Tonight through tomorrow morning, we will watch for winds out to the west near the metro west side, 50 to 60 miles per hour. Tomorrow brings a big cool down, highs in the upper 50s and the low 60s. The chance for a few showers from the metro down to the south and east. And again, tomorrow, more fire danger. Guys, we're in this thing until we get this big pattern change that starts to creep in as April begins. Colby, over to you.
Megan, thanks. Through the Making Memories program, people of all types of abilities are creating art at the OKC Museum of Art. News 9's Mike Glover took a trip to the museum to meet the artists in their element for this morning's Something Good.
At the Oklahoma City Museum of Art, there are lots of really cool exhibitions, but today is all about making art and making memories.
Flowers involved, we're thinking of spring and summer.
It was a day of learning to appreciate art at the Oklahoma City Museum of Art for the clients at EOC Technology Center in Choctaw.
We take care of individuals with disabilities and our aging senior population.
For caretakers, the center provides a safe place for their loved ones when they can't be there.
So we provide respite care for families that need to work, that need to take care of their land.
And one of their activities is a quarterly trip to the Oklahoma City Museum of Art.
They get to come do a tour of the museum, socialize, meet other people, and then also create some art that they get to take with them.
The program is called Making Memories, and it is accomplishing just that.
You paint any way you want, no wrong way to do it.
I'm painting a Gryffindor a lily.
Many of the artists locked into their work, while others had concerns, well, of other importance.
J-Dub, J-Real, Angie Wiggins, Holgren.
And as the class went on, Sarah taught me that it doesn't take sight to create a masterpiece.
I want the very tip white. Okay. And then the nectar piece, yellow.
Now we'll have the contact information for the Making Memories program with this story on our website. Making art available for everyone. That is something good. I'm Mike Glover for Oklahoma's Own.
Mike, thank you. Hey, you know, we are exactly 1 month until the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, and the full marathon is officially sold out. Because of this, marathon officials are opening a wait list at noon today for those who have still not signed up and still want to run the full marathon. So if spots open, officials say the system will automatically add those wait-listed runners and send you an email. Officials say there are still spots in other races, but they will sell out soon. So you are encouraged to go and sign up right now. Still ahead here on News 9, the Oklahoma City Thunder end their road trip, unfortunately, with the loss to the Celtics. We're going to look at what went wrong in our next half hour. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're going to finish this half hour a little bit differently today. I wanted to take a moment to honor and remember the life of an Oklahoma wrestling giant. This week, we lost Dean Duncan Fitzpatrick, better known to Empire Pro Wrestling fans as Duncan Kincaid. He passed away from a heart attack shortly after his last match with Empire Pro Wrestling this week. You might think because of the goatee and his intense ring style that he was an intimidating figure. Truthfully, he was a very sweet guy. I didn't know Duncan very long. I came to EPW as a short-timer with little to no experience. In fact, he had 25 years of experience, held multiple titles, headlined many main events, and yet every time I talked to him, I was met with kindness and encouragement. He made me feel welcomed, like a part of the family. My thoughts are certainly with that Empire Pro Wrestling family this morning, which I know is hurting. Duncan was a loving father, a husband, and grandfather to his own family. His wife, Jennifer, their 7 kids together, and that one grandbaby. Jennifer, my prayers certainly with y'all today. Thank you for sharing Duncan with us. He will forever be the 24/7 on-call champion, the title he held when he passed. Godspeed, Duncan Kincaid. Thank you for doing whatever it took every single night to bring joy to every person that walked through the doors. Rest in peace, brother. We have much more ahead, including our headlines, Megan's forecast. Robin and Lacey will join us. We have much more ahead here on News 9. We're back right after this.
Good Thursday morning. Right now, several counties are under a burn ban as the high fire danger is back today. I'm Robin Marsh. How a state law is preventing these counties from issuing burn bans sooner and the push to change the law. It's coming up this morning. Plus, another push to fill more than $500 million budget gap in funding for the new Oklahoma County Jail. I'm Lacey Lowry. Why it failed in the House, coming up.
And today is the day Oklahoma City officials set to break ground on the brand new $1 billion Oklahoma City Thunder home later this morning. I'm Colby Thielen. What you need to know about the Continental Coliseum, it's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
It does sound better and better every time you say it. It just rolls right off the tongue. 10 o'clock this morning. Very exciting.
A new day in OKC. Yeah. Can't wait for all of that. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for choosing News 9, and we're wondering about the weather again.
Fire danger for the first time in 4 years, a burn ban in Oklahoma County.
I saw that. It caught my eye. Let's check in with Megan Gold in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Hey, Megan.
Hey, guys. Today, temperatures soar back into the 90s. Will actually be several degrees warmer than yesterday. Low humidity and a strong south wind giving a high fire danger for the metro back into the western part of the state, northeastern Oklahoma. So a large portion of Oklahoma under this threat for today. We will watch this like a hawk. Storm trackers will be out and on these fires if they do go up. 21 counties now under a burn ban. And as you all mentioned, for the first time since 2022, that does include Oklahoma County. Remember, illegal to burn in those counties. We did have fires yesterday, a lot of controlled burns off into eastern Oklahoma, but there was one large fire that went up in western Oklahoma near Foss Lake and Butler, where there were evacuations underway from Butler to the south. 193 acres burned. Thankfully, no structures lost, and we're hoping we don't have that issue today. Bob Mills, Sky News 9, Mason Dunn was up in the air, and I'll show you that video coming up here in just a few minutes. Winds are already breezy to gusty this morning. 64 is our temperature right now under clear skies. Temperatures mid to upper 60s and low 70s with a few gusts to 25 and 30 in the northwest. We'll talk about when winds ramp up this morning into the afternoon. Cold front hits tonight and we go back to feeling more like March for your Friday. We'll talk all about it coming up.
And that is a problem, how dry it's been. And now several counties across the state are under a burn ban, including right here in the metro. We need the rain. Our Brianna Brown joins us live with why officials are putting the burn ban in place right now. Brianna, good morning.
Good morning, Robin. Yes, since 2022, Oklahoma County has not been issued a burn ban, but that all changed yesterday. Now, according to Oklahoma County Emergency Management Director David Barnes, it's because of strict state requirements. Now, he says the state law requires counties to reach a severe drought level before a burn ban can be issued, but a Senate bill is working to give local officials more flexibility.
More proactive, as opposed to waiting, okay, I've got to wait till it dries out some more, but in the meantime, we could have significant issues, and we've seen that occur.
Now, Senate Bill 1550 removes the 3 levels of drought conditions required to issue a burn ban, and under the bill, county commissioners can also issue a burn ban for 7 days under a unanimous vote if there is a significant threat to public safety. Here reporting in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown with Oklahoma's own News 9.
Brianna, thank you so much. And under the burn ban, it's illegal to burn grass, fields, or wildland, as well as trash or debris. Campfires or bonfires are also illegal if your county is under that ban.
Norman police say an officer is back at home after they were hospitalized for a crash. Investigators say the officer was actually responding to a separate crash with lights and sirens on Tuesday night when another driver turned in front of the officer, causing the crash. The officer was treated at the hospital and released yesterday. The other driver was not hurt. That crash is under investigation.
From the time he was a little boy, Brian wanted to be a firefighter. And for 35 years, he lived that dream.
He would leave his home in the middle of the night to come serve this community, putting out fires, going on medical calls. Why? Because he loved you. He cared about you.
A heartbroken community says goodbye to fallen Goldsby Volunteer Fire Chief Brian Jenkins. He and a fellow firefighter, Todd Pendleton, died last Friday morning after crashing on their way to a call. Yesterday, loved ones and fellow first responders packed Goldsby Church to honor his decades of service to his community and devotion as a father and friend. A memorial service for Todd Pendleton is set for this Saturday in Norman. It's at Victory Family Church at 10 a.m. Meanwhile, flags across the state are flying at half-staff through Saturday in their honor.
Our thoughts are with both those communities this morning, and we'll be following that second funeral as well. Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davidson now talking publicly for the first time since resigning from the high-profile office. His resignation comes after a county judge granted a protective order that a woman filed against the commissioner tied to sexual harassment allegations. News 9's Deanne Stein actually spoke with Davidson.
The District 3 commissioner spoke briefly after Wednesday's board meeting. He says he won't miss politics and is looking forward to his next chapter. It was business as usual at Wednesday's Board of County Commissioners meeting, Miles Davidson's first appearance since filing his resignation late last week. While his departure wasn't discussed during the meeting, we caught up with him afterward.
There's a lot of things to get done.
Among the unfinished business, he said, is building the new county jail, a project he has been instrumental in working to complete.
The jail is a great project. It's going to help Oklahoma County out extensively. It'll help reduce people's property taxes by, keeping us out of litigation and people dying inside the jail.
The biggest hurdle is paying for the jail, which is still facing a $500 million shortfall to build.
Hopefully whoever comes in next, continues to move the ball forward and doesn't stay in the stagnation that Oklahoma County's been in for the past 30 years.
Davidson didn't say if his resignation is tied to a 3-year protective order over sexual harassment claims, but he did respond when asked if he had any emotions about leaving office.
No, not at all. Just ready for it all to be over with, and we'll move forward.
Now, Davidson's last day is April 3rd, and he plans to work outside of government. His chief deputy will take over his position until a new commissioner is elected later this year. In Oklahoma City, Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
Meanwhile, again, the VOP against Miles Davidson remains in place. As far as these sexual harassment allegations against Davidson, the Oklahoma Attorney General Gettner Drummond says there's not enough evidence to file charges in the case.
A bill that could have allowed Oklahoma County to close the funding gap to build a new county jail by creating a medical marijuana sales tax fails. It did not pass on the House floor. House Bill 3314 would have allowed counties in Oklahoma to add a 15% sales tax on marijuana sales to go toward first responders and dilapidated properties. It failed early this morning, about 4 hours ago. The final vote 45 to 50. It was a close one. A separate bill in the Senate would have allowed counties to create a 10% tax to be used for public safety and infrastructure. That bill in the Senate is waiting to be heard on the Senate floor.
Meanwhile, a bill requiring people charged with domestic violence to wear GPS ankle monitors passes unanimously out of the state Senate. This would apply to those charged in violent domestic abuse cases involving a deadly weapon or strangulation. They would have to wear the GPS tracker in order to get out on bail.
This bill does target high-risk domestic violence cases. Research consistently shows that strangulation and use of weapons are major red flags for homicide risk.
That bill would also allow victims to get phone alerts if the abuser's location is close by. The bill now heads to the House for consideration.
And it is a big day at our state capitol as we take a live look at the Capitol from the Lucky Star Skycam network. The deadline for lawmakers to pass bills out of a chamber where it was authored is today. So it's a big day at the Capitol. If it does not move forward today, then the bill would not move forward for the rest of this session. The Senate will start hearing those bills at 8:30 this morning, while in the House, the debate begins at 9.
Taking a live look this morning at the Bob Mills Arena camera, the old convention center gone, and this morning construction will begin on the new Oklahoma City Thunder Arena, which will be called Continental Coliseum. We have extended coverage of this morning's groundbreaking ceremony. It starts at 10 a.m. And kicking off our coverage right now is News 9's Kylie Dedman. She's live outside the Thunder's future home where things kick off. Shovels in the ground in just a few hours. Kylie?
Hey guys, yeah, excitement is building in downtown as Oklahoma City gets ready for an historic moment, the groundbreaking of Continental Coliseum, the future home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The nearly
$1 billion arena will be built in the heart of downtown, right across the street from Paycom Center, where the Thunder will continue to play until Continental Coliseum is complete in 2028. This has been years in the making, with voters approving the project back in 2023. This state-of-the-art Coliseum will reshape how downtown will look, the landscape, how it will feel. Renderings right here show a modern, fan-focused design aimed at creating one of the loudest and most exciting atmospheres in the NBA, meaning Loud City will only get louder.
It's unlike anything that's been seen in the marketplace. The glass exterior, the interior bold tightness. It's a unique building.
Very unique indeed. This morning's ceremony is more than just the start of a new building. It sets the tone for this next chapter of Oklahoma City, and we will be following it all. Again, the groundbreaking starts at 10 this morning. We'll be airing the ceremony right here on News 9. Construction is set to be complete in summer of 2028. So exciting, you guys. I just can't wait.
Man. What's wild is to think when this passed and how recently that feels.
Yeah.
And
Had to tear down a whole building in the process.
It's just about that same amount of time it's going to be standing there in front of us.
It's just so neat to see the evolution of all of this and be a part of it. And then it's like, I can't wait for opening day. I mean, it'll be here before we know it.
2 years. It'll go fast.
It sure will. You'll blink and time will go by, that's for sure. We'll blink and the wind will put you to shikashay, it sounds like. We've had some big winds lately. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. Fire danger is high today. Winds will be very strong out of the south, flat out windy as the sun comes up. Winds will start gusting to 30, 35, and eventually 40 through the day today. And again, that puts most of Oklahoma under a high fire danger. We'll talk about it coming up.
Still ahead here on News 9, the Oklahoma City Thunder's win streak ends at 12 with a loss in Boston last night. A recap of how things went wrong. It's all coming up. Man, those folks in western Oklahoma and northwestern Oklahoma, bone dry.
They have been through it. We need rain so bad, and we've continued to see the burn bans expanding. We had a large fire that went up yesterday just north of Foss and south of Butler, and thankfully they were able to kind of get a grip on things, but 193 acres burned there near Butler. So I'll show you the video here. We had our Bob Mills Sky News 9 pilot Mason Dunn, and you hate to see it. I mean, so many cedar trees just going up in flames. And as we always recommend, guys, if you have these on your property, you've got to get rid of them because these things are just like gasoline and just go up so very quickly. The embers can seed down the line and start additional fires. And they did have some aerial support from some of these boss scoopers. But I'll tell you what, regardless, we are in this thing until we get this pattern change that is headed our way. And it is. It will be here as we start April, but we've got a good 6 or 7 days of very strong winds headed our way that could cause more issues like this. And yesterday, winds were not even all that strong. It was a hot day, temperatures climbing into the low 90s. And if we could take Links 1 control room, winds out near Clinton and Butler to Foss about 32 miles per hour. So on a day like today and tomorrow where you have winds to 40, 45, it can be an even bigger issue. We did have some controlled and prescribed burns off into eastern Oklahoma yesterday, a larger fire up far north of Tulsa, and then that fire that I just mentioned south of Butler out near Clinton. We'll zoom it in here and show you there were evacuation orders in effect just south of Butler with the fire warning there. Here's Foss, and again, 193 acres burned. So very grateful we did not lose any structures. To show you how many days it has been since we have had just a 1/4 inch of rain here in Oklahoma City, you have to go back to Valentine's Day. So more than a month, even though we've had rounds and rounds of severe weather, record-breaking numbers of tornadoes. Back into western Oklahoma, it's been 55 days, and you go up into the Panhandle, it's been back since November. So hopefully this pattern change will bring in some much needed rain, but the list of burn bans continues to grow. Oklahoma County now under a burn ban for the first time since 2022. That's significant. We also added Seminole and Pottawatomie County to the list here, and I think it would be a really good idea if we could get some more burn bans in effect for western and northwestern Oklahoma until we really kind of climb out of this thing. So for today, again, high fire danger for a large portion of the state. Humidity will be lowest out in the west, and we have a cold front up to the north. Wind advisories for tomorrow. Tomorrow, our winds will actually be a little bit stronger than today as the cold front comes blasting through overnight tonight, giving us a north wind, and tomorrow a much cooler day. The heat dome, the ridge of high pressure, is still in control, and today will be another day where we either break or tie records. We broke a record yesterday with a high temperature of 91. The standing record was 88, so we crushed that one. This is a live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Our downtown camera, 64 out the door right now. That's about 20 degrees above normal compared to what is our normal morning low. It's 71 in Guthrie right now, 66 in Purcell, 65 in Weatherford, and 67 in Sealing. So a mix of 60s and 70s, and south winds 10 to 20, a little breezier and gustier up in the northwest. So as the sun comes up today, winds will start gusting 30, 35 to 40 miles per hour, and they will be strong through the day into the afternoon until the sun sets. We'll get a little bit of a break. They'll still be breezy overnight, and then the cold front comes through, and look what happens back behind it. Winds start to gust 40 to even 50 miles per hour. This afternoon, scorching hot temperatures, low to mid to upper 90s, some triple digits, Alva to Guyman in the Panhandle. Cold front comes through tonight. There's your strong north wind, and we may have a few gusts out to the west. 50 to 60 miles per hour tonight through tomorrow morning. There is also a slight chance for a little drizzle and light rain, and tomorrow we are back to feeling like March. Actually, temperatures a good 8-9 degrees below normal for this time of year, and tomorrow afternoon through the evening, the chance for a few showers. Temperatures quickly warm back up for your Saturday, 67, more fire danger on Sunday into Monday and Tuesday with another cold front, and there come our rain and storm chances, guys.
Megan, thanks. Lucky 13 wasn't meant to be for the Thunder team. It wasn't for them last night. Last night, the Boston Celtics stopped OKC's winning streak at just 12 games.
But then the next question is, how many points did SGA score? 33, right? Okay, so that was some good news. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGehee has the story from Boston.
Well, you could tell Boston really wanted this win last night against the defending NBA champs. Oklahoma City looked good in the first quarter. Boston only 20 points in that first quarter because they were not making shots. They started to warm up. They almost hit nearly 20 threes in the game. Boston, when they're shooting threes and playing good defense, they are tough to beat, especially here at TD Garden.
Honestly speaking, I think we didn't start. The start was kind of like fool's gold. Like, we made some shots and they missed some wide open ones, and we had a 10-point lead, but it didn't, personally, it didn't feel like it. And then once the game settled into it, it felt like they got where they wanted.
And yeah, but offensively, I thought we were good, but I think what happened was when they started hitting shots, we got a little more stagnant. So just trying to be better in that regard.
Oklahoma City's lead in the Western Conference race drops to 2 games. The Spurs winners last night. Spurs have an easier schedule down the stretch compared to the Thunder. And it sounds like if Shea needs to play the last 9 games to maintain that #1 spot in the West, he is up for the challenge. From TD Garden in downtown Boston, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma's own.
Still ahead, the legal fight ramps up over a Jewish charter school proposed here in Oklahoma. What the charter school board says about a lawsuit they're now getting sued, it's coming up in our next half hour. We are exactly 1 month away to the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, and the full marathon officially sold out. Yeah, because of this, marathon officials are now opening a wait list at noon today for anyone who is not signed up and still wants to run the full marathon. If spots open, officials say the system will automatically add waitlisted runners and send them an email. Officials say there are still spots in other races, but those will sell out too. So sign up, and really this is a great sign because pre-COVID, it was like selling out every year. Then COVID happened and there was a lack in it. And now it looks like we're getting back to pre-COVID numbers, you guys.
Wow, we're going to have more than 25,000 runners. And we were just mentioning, I mean, the marathon's going to be here before you know it.
A month from today. It's so hard to believe. I like the idea of the wait list because can you imagine training for months and then be like, I forgot to sign up. Oh no.
One thing. Oh no, I did something good for myself. Dang it.
Or you're me and you're like, I'll join the wait list and hope that never happens.
I signed up. They
It's a mixed bag. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least you're not me who signed up for the 5K and hasn't run in years.
You got this, girl.
You know,
got 4 weeks.
The adrenaline kicks in.
There you
and
go.
We get going. So, hey, today a hot day, a windy day, another day that we will tie or break a record. Winds will ramp up this morning, gusts to 40 through the day today. High fire danger, low humidity, the hot temperatures. Not a day to do any of those things that can create wildfires. So please be dialed in if you see smoke and call local authorities. There are your highs for this afternoon. Huge pattern change, guys. Tomorrow we're back to the 50s and 60s.
And still ahead here on News 9, a Metro City joins a nationwide lawsuit all over fire trucks. We have the details coming up at 5. Good morning, I'm Colby Thielen. Right now on News 9 at 5, the brand new billion-dollar home of the Thunder, the Continental Coliseum, breaks ground today. We're taking a live look at the Bob Mills Arena Cam. We're going to have a preview coming up.
I'm Robin Marsh. Good morning. Oklahoma County now under this burn ban, and this is the first time for Oklahoma County since 2022. We take a look at what you can and cannot do under the ban.
I'm Lacey Lowry. We have more record-breaking heat today and strong winds. When we could see a cool down, the up, the downs, it all continues. That's coming up right here on News 9.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning, Oklahoma. 5 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Glad to have you here. Just a reminder, we are streaming live right now on the News 9 YouTube channel. You can scan this QR code on your screen. It'll take you to the page. Just subscribe to the channel and then leave us a comment or a question in the live chat, and we will read those throughout the newscast.
Boy, a lot happening today. We got the groundbreaking at 10 a.m., but the big threat today for about 3/4 of Oklahoma, high fire danger.
Yeah, let's get over to Lacey Swope. She is here monitoring things. Lacey, the winds, the dry, I mean, this is just a bad combination.
It is. We had the big fire yesterday out near Butler, had evacuations in and around the Butler area out west. They got that fire contained. No structures were lost. Today, the winds pick up. We're back to the 90s, and a cold front slams in tonight. It's going to change things drastically. We'll have a ripping north wind behind that boundary. So as you're heading out this morning on our Lucky Star Skycam network, it's 64 degrees, but the humidity is up. Humidity's 80%. It is warm. We're close to record warm lows to start the day. We're not going to break the record, but we're at least closer to that than average, 60s and 70s. South winds are 15 to 20, some gusts to 30 currently, and the winds pick up after sunrise. So we'll go from the 60s to the 70s. Lunchtime right around 80 degrees, and the afternoon high of 92 with sunshine is what we are expecting, and that will tie the record set back in 2020. Guys, we could have triple digits in the state today in the Northwest from Alva to Guyman. Again, shattering records. And can you imagine with this type of heat, if we were to have a big fire, that would mean business. We also have the wind to contend with. Winds at times will gust 35 to 40 miles per hour. Drought still a problem, and that humidity really drops off into the afternoon. So coming up in full weather, we'll talk about how hot we get statewide, and then more on the timing of that cold front, because it does bring a chance for a few showers. We'll get a little rain overnight tonight. Thunderstorm chances return next week. What about severe weather? We'll have all the details coming up. Back to you.
Lacey, thank you. As Lacey was mentioning, Oklahoma County now officially under a burn ban. This is the first time since 2022. Under this ban, it is illegal to burn anything other than approved devices like propane or grills. The director of Oklahoma County Emergency Management says strict state requirements keep them from issuing those burn bans sooner.
We would have had one in Oklahoma County within recent weeks, for sure. I know that for a fact because I was holding off due to the state statute limitation.
So those who violate the burn ban could face fines of up to $500 or even jail time. The burn ban remains in effect for up to 14 days.
Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davidson is talking for the first time since announcing his resignation last week. This resignation comes after a judge granted a Metro woman a victim protective order against Davidson tied to sexual harassment allegations. Miles Davidson did not say if the resignation was tied to the VPO, but he did want to talk about what he calls unfinished business. This includes how to pay for the new jail, which is facing a $500 million shortfall.
Hopefully whoever comes in next, continues to move the ball forward and doesn't stay in the stagnation that Oklahoma County's been in for the past 30 years.
Davidson's last day is April 3rd. The chief deputy will step in until another commissioner is elected in November.
The rejected plans for a taxpayer-funded Jewish charter school in Oklahoma have made their way to federal court. The Oklahoma Charter School Board denied the Florida-based Ben Gamla Foundation to establish the school in our state. Ben Gamla is now suing, arguing that excluding religious schools from public charter funding is unconstitutional. We reached out to the Jewish Federation of Greater Oklahoma City. They tell us they do not support this lawsuit.
It is a potential attack against the separation of church and state, which clearly goes against the Oklahoma Constitution and the U.S. Constitution.
Oklahoma Attorney General Getner Drummond is against the charter school plans. He says his office is currently reviewing this lawsuit and will respond soon.
All right, talk about a game-changing day as we take a live look this morning from our Bob Mills Arena Cam. Construction is set to begin this morning on the new Oklahoma City Thunder home, Continental Coliseum. We will have extended coverage of the groundbreaking ceremony. You'll be able to see it live right here starting at 10 a.m. And kicking off team coverage early this morning, our Kylie Dedman live outside the future home. This is an exciting day for OKC. Kylie?
Yes, Robin, it is. An excitement is just continuing to build here in downtown as Oklahoma City gets ready for an historic moment as the groundbreaking for Continental Coliseum kicks off later on this morning, which is going to be the future home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, this nearly $1 billion arena will be built in the heart of downtown, just right across the street from Paycom Center, where the Thunder will continue to play until Continental Coliseum is complete. Now, this has been years in the making, with voters approving the project back in 2023. This state-of-the-art Coliseum will reshape how downtown will look and feel. Renderings show a modern, fan-focused design aimed at creating one of the loudest and most exciting atmospheres in the NBA, meaning Loud City is only getting louder.
It's unlike anything that's been seen in the marketplace. The glass exterior, the interior bold tightness. It's a unique building.
And this morning's ceremony is more than just a new building being built. It's the start of the next chapter here in Oklahoma City. Reporting live right across the street where Continental Coliseum will be built, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Man, it can't get here fast enough, right?
I think we might need to change our arena cam to Coliseum cam.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
now
the
that
Bob
we know
Mills
the name.
Coliseum cam.
I think
okay.
so.
I'll call Bob and see
Okay,
if that's okay.
let's see if that's all right.
It was the arena cam for the demolition.
Yeah.
It's the Coliseum cam for the
There we go.
construction.
Hey, it all begins at 10 a.m. this morning. We will be airing the ceremony live right here on News 9. I know the mayor's going to be there. I think Harold Hamm from Continental will be there. I talked with Paris Lawson from the Thunder yesterday. I think she has a big part in it. It's going to be an exciting time for the city.
Exciting. We'll have it live right here. We're going to extend the 9 o'clock newscast probably until about 10:30 or whenever they stop talking. We'll carry it live no matter what.
Or if they start a little bit later, which sometimes happens at groundbreakings. I've been to a lot of windy groundbreakings. Probably expect that today. I don't know, about 10 o'clock, Lacey, what do you think?
Dirt flying around as it's been for the last several days. Today, the gusts will be about 30 to 40. Okay, that's enough for sure. It also elevates the wildfire danger, so that's something we're watching. But temperature-wise, get ready for another summer-like day. Here in the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're talking highs soaring into the 90s, shattering records across the plains. But see that cold front? That slams in tonight. It has big impacts, much cooler tomorrow. So how strong are the winds? What about that fire threat? And who sees rain tonight? That's coming up.
Also coming up, the city of Shawnee says that they might have massively overpaid waiting too long for fire trucks. Coming up, why they are joining a federal lawsuit, saying they paid way more than they originally should have. It's ahead on News 9.
All right, we are talking hotter temperatures again today and windy.
It was a little gusty yesterday, but it was hot. Were y'all outside at all feeling, I mean, it was summertime heat.
Yeah.
I sat out on the patio.
Not complaining, so I'll take it. I like it.
I sat out on the patio, fell asleep,
She
woke
called me,
up,
she said, I fell asleep in the sun.
sweating like a dog. I was like, what is going
that
on?
nice tan, though. Look at that. In the shade, it actually was very nice yesterday. But man, that direct sunlight, it was hot. Today's even hotter. But when you tack on the wind and you lower the humidity, now fire threats are going to be even higher from what we've seen. So you just have to be very careful. Be diligent. We're continuing to add counties to the burn ban list. I'll show you that in just a minute. We went to 91 yesterday, shattered the record high. It was 90 in North Platte, Nebraska. It's not uncommon this time of year to have snow on the ground in Omaha. They were in the 80s. 70s in Minneapolis should be blanketed with snow. This is very abnormal to have this type of heat. Now, when you have this heat, you drop the humidity, you get the wind, you have the chance for fires. We had several fires yesterday, and some of them were very big, burnt about 200 acres out near Foss Lake. And let me show you some of the video from Mason Dunn and Bob Mills Sky News 9. This was the westward flank. Now, what was awesome about this fire, horrible that it got started, is that it burned about 200 acres, but all these structures and homes and buildings were saved. There were evacuations from the Butler area, but with aerial support and the support from the firefighters, they were dropping water from Foss Lake, which was like a quarter of a mile away. They got a handle on that north side, the east side, and then eventually the westward side. After it burned through these cedars, they got it knocked down. Now, as a result of the drought, which rages on, more counties added to the burn ban list. Let me show you. We have Oklahoma County under a burn ban now, and that is the first time in several years. What does that mean? You can't burn your trash. You obviously can't have any type of a fire outside. You can still grill and things like that, but just be very careful. I think it's a misdemeanor if you burn in these counties where it is illegal. And it's not just Oklahoma, it's Canadian, Cleveland, Seminole, Pott counties, counties down to the south, the southwest. 21 Oklahoma counties are now burn ban restricted. So keep that in mind. Today, wildfires could burn very, very rapidly. Be very careful and diligent as you're outdoors. Be careful with those grinders. If you're out there welding, things that create a spark could easily start a fire with winds gusting over 40 miles per hour at times. We need rain. Now we have a chance for some showers tonight. A little drizzle is possible, and the humidity's higher tomorrow, so the fire threat's not as high. Next week, especially Thursday, we have a higher chance for thunderstorms, and we'll keep that chance going off and on the first 2 weeks of April. Right now, we're in the 60s. There's a cold front crashing in. It doesn't get here until tonight. Ahead of it, winds are being pulled up from the south. It's already gusty this morning on our Lucky Star Skycam network. That's live from Chickasha. We're at 64. There are some 70s. It's 70 right now in Agra and Tryon, 71 in Guthrie. We've got some 50s down in southwest Oklahoma where the winds have been weaker, but south wind will continue to blow today, and your temperatures will warm from the 70s back into the low 90s with sunshine. They'll be triple digits today, I do believe, out in the Panhandle and near Alva, Woodward, Sealing, getting up close to 100 degrees, mid-upper 90s in the west. Again, tying and breaking records. Now, what do the winds do? Here's your timeline statewide. Already a little gusty this morning, but after daybreak through lunchtime, 30 to 40 mile an hour southwest breeze. As we head into the afternoon and evening, really winds stay up. Tonight, the cold front hits around midnight, and tomorrow morning, as you're heading out on your Friday, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. I think our strongest winds will be between about 9 a.m. and noon for your Friday. That's when we can have gusts 45 to 50, 55 miles per hour in the southwest. After lunchtime, winds might come down a notch or two. They're still very gusty all day Friday, but it's a north wind, and that brings in some pretty chilly air. Where those air masses collide, we'll have some drizzle firm up. Might have a few sprinkles, some very light rain in OKC. Higher chance to the north tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be so much cooler than where we are right now, and into tomorrow, we'll see 90s for highs today, but tomorrow morning, 30s and 40s. Tomorrow afternoon, highs only in the 50s, but those north winds prevail, and rain and thunderstorm chances will continue tomorrow afternoon in the southeast. You might get a couple strikes of lightning in the southeast, which would be great, but we need more widespread heavy rain. That's just not in the forecast. Now, Saturday, you have weekend plans. Saturday and Sunday look beautiful. Saturday, light winds and 60s by the time we get to Sunday morning. Just to remind you, we have 30s in the forecast. Another light freeze is possible up to the north on Saturday morning. Okay, Sunday is a warmer day. We're back in the 80s, 88 Monday, and then thunderstorm chances return next week. We're watching a pretty strong cold front Tuesday into Wednesday. April begins, guys, on a soggy note the way it looks right now. We sure need it. I'll send it to you. I know you have more with breaking news.
Thank you, Lacey. Thank you. Let's turn to that breaking news. This is on the southbound lanes of I-35, a crash that just came in. You're taking a live look from our Stephen Owsley. This is just south of the I-240 exchange and really close to Southeast 89, so right there by the Stanley Rother Shrine. You can see there's a car just behind that Highway Patrol cruiser. That's why our Stephen Owsley is relocating right now, because it's blocking the middle lanes right now of I-35. The ambulance just arrived, so did the Highway Patrol. Here's a look at the cars involved. So it looks like 3 cars potentially involved here in this crash. We're going to be checking on the incidents and the injuries potentially with this, and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, southbound I-35 slow going in that area.
Yeah, for sure. In other news this morning, a nationwide backlog of fire trucks is now stretching to Oklahoma, with the city of Shawnee filing a federal lawsuit.
And that lawsuit is seeking millions of dollars in damages from the fire truck manufacturers.
News 9's Matt McCabe investigates why the city of Shawnee is now taking action and how widespread this problem could be across our state.
In 2025, the Shawnee Fire Department responded to more than 5,600 calls for service. Now, city leaders believe that a nationwide delay for delivering new fire trucks could be putting its community in danger. A 76-page federal lawsuit filed this month started at the beginning of March at a Shawnee City Commission meeting.
Mr. Mayor, with gratitude to our fire department and to help them fight their battle to protect citizens, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Inside the lawsuit, the city of Shawnee steps forward as the first of what it believes could be hundreds of fire agencies in Oklahoma that have overpaid, with prices allegedly doubling in 10 years and waited too long for fire trucks. The city of Shawnee ordered a Pierce custom pumper in 2022 for almost $856,000, but says it canceled the order last year after the manufacturer failed to meet the delivery deadline. 2 of the companies the city of Shawnee is suing testified to Congress in September about the issue affecting states around the country.
We have taken significant steps to boost our production and bring innovative products to the market so that we can get more fire trucks on the road faster.
At Pierce, price increases have slowed significantly.
Nationally, the fulfillment rate hit a low in 2022 and has started to trend up in recent years. But industry data from last year indicates the fulfillment rate is still below pre-pandemic levels. The city of Shawnee argues it has paid $320,000 more than it should for pumpers, which it says should only cost $680,000. And says it has paid $800,000 more than it should for ladder trucks, which it says should only cost $1.2 million. The lawsuit says the companies have injured the city in a way that, quote, antitrust laws were meant to punish and prevent. The city also believes all the companies named as defendants worked in conspiracy with each other to minimize competition and universally raise all the prices. The city does not specify how much it's seeking exactly in damages, but the arguments that it makes in the lawsuit suggest that that number could be in the millions. A spokesperson for the city declined to provide us with an interview. In Shawnee, Matt McCabe, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
Now, we have reached out to other fire departments around the state to learn if they plan to join this lawsuit. We do know that other agencies around the country have filed similar lawsuits against companies this year.
Oh, not a way to start the day. This is I-35 southbound right near Southeast 89th. And look here, it's a bad wreck early this morning, and it is basically kind of shutting down the southbound lanes. This is just south of the I-240 interchange. Again, southbound I-35. We'll have an update coming up.
We have some breaking news right now on the southbound side of I-35. Let's get over to Megan Gold. Megan?
Hey, good morning. We do have a crash. I know it's 5:23 in the morning. This is going to be at the southbound lanes of I-35 near Southeast 89th. It's actually going to be just north of 89th, so really in between 89th and I-240, and a little bit of a backup is starting there. We've got our Stephen Owsley on the scene. I think we've lost his shot, but hopefully it'll come back up here in a minute. So the good news, if you are commuting in from the south side into Oklahoma City, this is not going to slow you down, but if you're traveling to the south, it absolutely will as the backup starts to grow. We do know that the middle lane is blocked right now and that they're diverting traffic to the outside lane. So I don't think we have his shot right now, but as soon as we do, guys, I'll have another update for you.
Megan, thank you. Hey, a big shout out this morning to Oklahoma Baptist University men's basketball team. They are headed to the Division II Final Four, becoming the first team in their conference to do it. Last night, they beat the undefeated Cal East Bay Pioneers 78-55.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't even close. Again, they're advancing to the Final Four. They play Gannon University this Friday. If they win, when they win, let's say,
there you go,
they head to the national championship.
Look out, Gannon. They're coming for you. The Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon has sold out faster than ever before. Because of this, officials behind the marathon are putting together a wait list. So if a spot opens up, the registration will add then the waitlisted runners to the race. Officials say there are still spots in other races, but they're going to sell out pretty quick as well. So sign up now. The wait list opens up today at noon.
It's such an exciting time of year, the marathon, what, a month away. We should mention March Madness begins back tonight as they start the Sweet 16. You'll see some of the games here on News 9.
Yep, that means some later nights for our News 9 crew.
There we go. Let's check in with Lacey. She's at the Bob Mills Weather Center. Hey, Lace.
Megan just said, Lacey, the 5K. We signed up for it.
Are you all training?
They will start soon. We're going to start soon.
We're ready. Here she goes. Watch her. Woo!
Oh, you're ready to go, Megan.
Yeah, so here we go. 1 month, are you kidding me? Here's what's crazy for the folks that are actually training and doing their due diligence. The morning temperatures are usually in the 30s and the 40s. We're in the 60s and 70s, 90s this afternoon. Those south winds will blow you to Kansas today, 30 to 40 miles per hour. Cold front tonight, and that means more strong winds, unfortunately, with ramped up the fire danger. What's that temperature timeline? We'll have it all for you coming up.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
Right now at 5:30, here's a look at some of the top stories today. A Los Angeles jury finds YouTube and Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, responsible for designing addictive products that harm mental health. A woman had claimed some features had caused her to become addicted to social media at a young age. Both companies are appealing this verdict.
Taking a live look from the state capitol from the Lucky Star Skycam network. It is a big day here in Oklahoma politics-wise because state lawmakers need to pass bills out of the chamber where they were authored in order for them to move forward. If that doesn't happen, they will be dead for the rest of the session.
And taking a live look at our Bob Mills Coliseum cam this morning, the groundbreaking for the new home of the Thunder is today. It will be called the Continental Coliseum. The $1 billion arena will be built in the heart of downtown. The arena opens in 2028. Again, the groundbreaking today at 10 a.m. We will carry it live right here on News 9 and news9.com. And we do want to remind you, we are live on the News 9 YouTube channel this morning, streaming there, and you can join in on the conversation. Take this QR code and scan it. It'll take you straight to the page. Subscribe to our channel and then hop into the live chat, and we'll read some of your questions and comments throughout the newscast.
I tell you, watch out on I-35 southbound, right by that I-240 exchange at Southeast 89th. Look at the traffic here. We've had a bad wreck there. They've kind of cleared the wreck over, Colby, but traffic might be stuck for a while.
Yeah, it's a long line of headlights. They've moved the vehicles over to the shoulder. They were right in the middle of I-35 there for a little bit. Again, southbound lanes just north of Southeast 89th. Our Stephen Owsley is going to continue to monitor the situation, but traffic slow going southbound this morning.
All right, wind's going to be a problem, and it is dry out there. Lacey is monitoring our Thursday forecast. Good morning, Lacey.
Good morning. Winds are up about 15-25 right now, mile per hour gusts. Now they're going to get stronger after the sun comes up, and that cold front from the north crashes in tonight, changes the temperatures drastically, and gives us a ripping north wind for tonight and tomorrow morning. Winds start to taper off Friday afternoon. There's the boundary, and there's some showers along it. There's some snow going on in the northern plains. Meanwhile, on the south side of that system where the warm air is, the really hot air, we're back to record-breaking temperatures for your Thursday. Now on our Lucky Star Skycam network, that's the view, showing you kind of what the winds are doing currently. They're not out of control, but they do really pick up later today. 64 is where we are starting, which is very close to our average high for this time of year. We should be here in the afternoons, not at 5 in the morning. It is 70 degrees in Guthrie. We are so close to record warm lows. It's 65 in Chandler, 69 in Shawnee, 70 in Buffalo to start the day, 67 in Ardmore, and winds right now, again, gusts to about 25 at times, a little higher in the northwest, and it's a south breeze. Highs quickly warm, temperatures quickly warm. We'll be in the low 90s this afternoon with some triple digits in the northwest. It's going to be scorching hot, and fire danger today due to the winds, very low humidity, will be in the high category. We'll talk more about that wind timeline statewide coming up. The cold front hits tonight, and we do have shower chances, including the Oklahoma City metro tonight and tomorrow morning. Thunderstorms, maybe severe weather next week. We need rain. We'll detail it all coming up.
And as a result of that, Lacey, several counties across the state under a burn ban, including right here in the metro. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us live with why officials are putting that ban in place now. Brianna?
Good morning, Colby. Yes, the last time that Oklahoma County had issued a burn ban was in 2022 until yesterday. Now, Oklahoma County Emergency Management Director David Barnes says this is because of strict state requirements. Now, he says that state law requires counties to reach a severe drought level before a burn ban can be issued. But a Senate bill is working to give local officials more flexibility.
More proactive, as opposed to waiting, okay, I've got to wait till it dries out some more, but in the meantime, we could have significant issues, and we've seen that occur.
Now, Senate Bill 1550 removes the 3 levels of drought conditions required to issue a burn ban, and under that bill, county commissioners could also issue a burn ban for 7 days with a unanimous vote if there was a significant threat to public safety. Here in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown for Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Brianna, thanks. The penalties for violating that burn ban up to $500 or up to a year in jail, as well as a misdemeanor charge. So under the burn ban, it's illegal to burn grass, fields, or wildland, as well as trash or debris. Campfires, bonfires, also illegal under the ban.
Well, News 9 has learned a Norman police officer who was injured in a bad wreck is now back home. He was hospitalized following the crash. Investigators say the officer was responding to that crash with the lights and sirens on. This was Tuesday night. Right near Lindsay Street, another driver reportedly turned in front of the officer, causing that crash. The officer was treated at the hospital and released. The other driver wasn't hurt, but the cause of the crash is under investigation. A man charged in a DUI crash that killed a Canadian County woman pleads guilty. It happened in February of last year. Mustang police say Teresa Matthews was killed. 3 others were injured after David Gellenbeck rear-ended the SUV they were traveling in. Court documents say he then drove off, but officers found him a mile away. Again, he will be sentenced April 30th. We'll be watching.
Your time now, 5:35. Need to get back over to Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us. Hey, Megan.
Hey, good morning. We're starting things off early, unfortunately, this morning. This is southbound I-35 at Southeast 89th. Our photojournalist, Stephen Owsley, sending in this picture of the cars involved in the wreck here and heavily damaged, as you can tell. So let me show you this on a map. The good news, if you are commuting into the Oklahoma City Metro, this isn't going to slow you down, but if you're headed southbound, it will. There's the slowdown, and really the wreck is to the north of 89th and just south of I-240, and speeds down to about 30 miles per hour. Let me show you our Stephen Owsley's live shot. He is there on the scene, and they've moved all of this into the outside lane. So no lanes of I-35 blocked right now, but law enforcement on the scene and a little slow going there as they're working to clear the scene. Hopefully, as we head towards the 6 o'clock hour, guys, this scene will clear and hopefully everybody's okay. Back to you.
Putting out fires, going on medical calls. Why? Because he loved you. He cared about you.
A heartbroken community says goodbye to fallen Goldsby Volunteer Fire Chief Brian Jenkins. Last Friday, Jenkins and fellow firefighter Todd Pendleton were killed after they crashed while on their way to a call. Loved ones and fellow first responders packed Goldsby Church yesterday to honor his decades of service to his community and devotion as a father and friend. Meanwhile, a memorial service will be held for Pendleton this Saturday in Norman. It will be at Victory Family Church in Norman at 10 a.m.
And listen to this. Fellow Oklahomans are stepping in to help both firefighters' families during this difficult time. One man, known as the old truck guy, says he's gathered $15,000 in donations with the help of a vintage truck giveaway. He says that check for $15,000 is now in the hands of the families there in Goldsby.
It's amazing if you do something big or small, every little bit helps, but it's just the heart matter of wanting to do something.
Yeah. Exactly.
So many people wanting to help the man that helped their community.
Absolutely.
So many ways.
Yes. Can't say enough of a debt of gratitude to both of those men, and our thoughts and prayers are with their families.
Absolutely. It sounds like both were so loved. Everybody immediately came and said, I want to share my story of how this man helped me. And both of them had a long list of just great stories of service and sacrifice.
And so many firefighters on standby today as we have high fire danger yet again. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Here's Lacey Swope. Lacey?
Yeah, we saw firefighters out in full force yesterday. Really, this has been a pretty bad fire season over just the last couple of months. And today, back to high fire threats because of the wind, the humidity, the drought that continues. We're in the 60s right now, some 70s in the state. We'll be in the 90s in Oklahoma City. We'll have triple digits in the northwest. Now, as the winds pick up, that could fuel those fires. We'll talk about the wind timeline coming up.
And we're also following this breaking news on the southbound side of I-35 this morning, right near Southeast 89th Street. A 3-car crash has slowed down traffic here through this area as you're heading south this morning. I think Megan said in some areas down to 30 miles an hour on I-35. So buckle up, drive safe if you have to find a way around. This is right near Southeast 89th. We'll be back right after this.
It's already been a busy weather season for Oklahoma, from the winter storm to wildfires and then so many tornadoes. We are only 3 months into the year, and our weather experts say it's already been a crazy start.
Yeah, I mean, 2026, right? We came out of the chute in January, right? I mean,
We did.
January 8th, the morning event, another morning event.
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, what a morning that was. I mean, that went
5
from, okay,
tornadoes right at rush
yeah.
hour.
It's a fabulous conversation. You can hear David and Lacey talk about covering those tornadoes and all of their experiences so far this year. It's Beyond the Forecast, that awesome podcast. It drops today at 3 p.m. on the News 9 Weather YouTube channel.
Man, I tell you, it seemed like winter. We had those kind of two blasts, and then we've kind of gone into springtime.
We had all the snow. The snow that fell in January, remember, was just about 2 weeks after the tornadoes.
Right.
And then we went back to historic tornadoes for the month of March. I mean, we broke records since data records began for the number that we've seen. And we've had 4 fatalities due to tornadoes, which is unheard of in the state of Oklahoma for March.
Yeah, this early.
The questions are, from everyone we see, all of our viewers, what does this mean for the rest of the spring? So we get into that on the podcast
And then
today at 3.
tracking fires yesterday,
Right.
potentially tracking them today with the high fire danger still remaining.
You know, we need thunderstorms. We do. But in March, April, May, thunderstorms always come with the risk of severe weather. But at
Double-edged
this
sword.
point, we need rain so desperately to mitigate the fires. Because we have had so little in the way of rain recently, we now have burn bans. It does include Oklahoma County. Most of the metro is under a burn ban, at least central and south sides of the Oklahoma City metro. So take a look at the map here. Oklahoma County was added yesterday. What does that mean? Well, you can't burn your trash, okay, which a lot of folks depend on doing that. Obviously, you can't be burning your property either, doing any of those controlled or prescribed burns. They will not be prescribed. It is illegal to burn Cleveland, McLean, Potts, Seminole, Grady, Canadian, and Caddo counties, with up to a misdemeanor could be the penalty if you get caught doing so. Can you still grill and cook outside on your gas burning grill? Absolutely. Yes, your propane, you can do that. Now you get down to the south, Garvin, Carter, Love counties, also in the southwest, Grant in northern Oklahoma. 21 counties now are under a burn ban. And because today the winds are strong again, we are talking high fire danger. The humidity drops to as low as 10% in the west and southwest. Now the winds aren't completely out of control today, but we had a big fire yesterday. And with that fire, we had almost 200 acres burned just south of Butler, between Foss Lake and Butler. The smoke plume made it all the way up to Cherokee. We had Bob Mills, Sky News 9 in the air. Kyle Wilson was on the ground bringing you those aerial views. There you go. About a 200-acre stretch there. Did not get any of those. They didn't reach any of the homes or the outbuildings in those areas, because fire crews on the ground were working tirelessly to put that out. You're burning into those cedar trees, of course. And we also had aerial support yesterday. The super scoopers were coming in, and they were getting onto the lake, Foss Lake, picking up that water and working in tandem to drop the water, 2 of them on that edge of the fire. So fire is out now, but we are watching for the chance for more fires today due to strong winds once again. So let me show you the forecast back onto links. Big time wind is expected, wind advisories, because a south wind is going to get pulled up into this really deep area of low pressure. Then as this cold front moves in tonight, we get a ripping north wind. We're doing it again. We get these alternating wind directions and really alternating seasons. Today is going to feel very much like summertime, and then tomorrow, chilly and windy with cloud cover, and some of us will get a little rain. Right now at our Lucky Star Skycam network, still a little breezy, close to record warm lows. We're in the 60s. There's some 70s. Guthrie sitting at 70 degrees. As you're getting the kiddos ready for school today, they need a jacket, but my goodness, dress them for more summertime, because later coming home from school, it's going to be hot, and those winds will be picking on up. 87 at 1 o'clock, and we'll try to top out around 92 degrees. Now, is that a record? Yep. Tying it back in 2020, 99 in Woodward, 97 in Altus, and we'll try to break 100 in Guyman, Alva, Buffalo later today. Here's your wind timeline. Lunchtime 35, some gusts to 40. You'll notice it's mainly central and western Oklahoma with the strongest winds. And then I think a few thunderstorms try to take off in Kansas along that cold front this evening. We'll have a little lightning with that. Does not look like we'll see any of that reach Oklahoma. But as the boundary moves in, some showers develop. And by tomorrow morning, 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. Watch what happens after daybreak tomorrow from Hobart to Altus to Lawton. Gusts 50 to 55 miles miles per hour out of the north. Winds will be ripping. Now, they do start to relax some and come down several notches into the afternoon, and they really back off in northern Oklahoma Friday afternoon. We'll have a chance again along that boundary for some cloud cover and maybe some drizzle or light showers in central Oklahoma. We'll watch for it. 40% chance up to the north. Tonight with that boundary, we fall into the 40s. Wind chills will be in the 30s, low 30s in northern Oklahoma after you reach 100 later today. Talk about extremes. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures in the 50s. Those north winds will continue with showers. Best chance will be down into southern and southeast Oklahoma. We'll quickly dry it out central and northern sides of the state. Then for your weekend plans, Saturday looks absolutely beautiful. Light south winds, mostly sunny skies and 60s. It'll feel amazing. Sunday's a little warmer, but Saturday morning, I just want to point out, we'll be in the 60s in the afternoon, but we'll start in the 30s. We'll have a light freeze in northern Oklahoma. So again, those areas that are so very hot today will deal with a light freeze come Saturday. I don't think we see those freezing temperatures in central Oklahoma. Behind the cool down, several storm systems are lined up into next week, bringing us a chance for showers, thunderstorms at times in different locations. Still, the most potent storm system looks to be around the 6th or 7th of April. If we can get enough moisture return from the Gulf, we'll see. But temperatures will really have some big ups and downs, close to 90 on Tuesday before our next strong cold front next week. Back to you guys.
Well, good news, bad news for the Thunder. The good news, SGA scored 33 points last night. The bad news, though, the team lost to Boston.
12-game streak comes to an end. OKC finishes their 5-game road trip with a 119-109 loss. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGehee has the recap from Boston.
Well, you could tell Boston really wanted this win last night against the defending NBA champs. Oklahoma City looked good in the first quarter. Boston only 20 points in that first quarter because they were not making shots. They started to warm up. They almost hit nearly 20 threes in the game. Boston, when they're shooting threes and playing good defense, they are tough to beat, especially here at TD Garden.
Honestly speaking, I think we didn't start. The start was kind of like fool's gold. Like, we made some shots and they missed some wide open ones. And we had a 10-point lead, but it didn't, personally, it didn't feel like it. And then once the game settled into it, it felt like they got where they wanted.
And yeah, but offensively, I thought we were good. But I think what happened was when they started hitting shots, we got a little more stagnant. So just trying to be better in that regard.
Oklahoma City's lead in the Western Conference race drops to 2 games. The Spurs winners last night. Spurs have an easier schedule down the stretch compared to the Thunder. And it sounds like if Shea needs to play the last 9 games to maintain that #1 spot in the West, he is up for the challenge. From TD Garden in downtown Boston, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma's own.
Steve, thank you. 5:50 your time now. Let's get back over to meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching this crash on I-35, Megan.
Hey, Lacey, the good news is this is not really impacting traffic, but with emergency vehicles there on the scene in that outside lane, or really the shoulder, you really need to slow down if you're traveling through this area. This is from our photojournalist, Stephen Owsley. You can see pretty significant damage to the front of this car here, and he mentioned that the tow truck did just show up. So hopefully the scene will clear. Again, this is as you leave the metro. Let me show it to you on a map. This is going to be just north of Southeast 89th and just south of I-240 in the southbound lanes of I-35. Again, not causing a backup anymore now that they have moved this into the shoulder. Several other shots for you here from our American Fidelity camera, the Broadway extension. If you're headed northbound on I-35, everything looks great. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
We're going to talk first with you about the weather. How are we doing right now?
Well, we're starting off a little breezy. The winds will really pick up after daybreak. So you'll notice this morning as you step out, winds are about 15 to 25, and it is mild, guys. We're in the 60s. It's still in the 70s up near Guthrie, over near Chandler. Very, very warm. Harper County also sitting at 70 degrees, which is well above our typical afternoon high. We'll see sunshine and 90s, and that means record highs today because the wind, the humidity, fire danger is high. And then the big cold front hits tonight. So it's a completely different season tomorrow. And coming up at 6, we'll talk about how cold we get behind that boundary.
This is crazy. The ups and downs.
It's
so
been
extreme.
you gotta hang on tight. It's been a lot of extremes over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I just wonder what the summer is going to be like if we're in the 90s right now.
Right now,
get
what
through
will it be
spring
like?
first.
Right.
The thunderstorms and the severe storm chances that we have. Right now, it doesn't look like summer is really implicated in what we're seeing currently because we're going to switch phases. We'll get to that. As we get
Okay.
closer.
Okay.
It's all right. Don't sweat it.
Don't start
Okay,
worrying
okay.
about nothing that I need to worry about.
Hey, let's, okay, I know that okay is going to be the word of the day. Hey, let's take another look at the shot from our Stephen Owsley of that crash there on I-35 in the southbound lanes at Southeast 89th. It looks like the scene is starting to clear. It is not impacting traffic. Let's take it to Links 1, and I'll show this to you on a map. Again, the southbound lanes of I-35. So if you're coming into Oklahoma City northbound, you are good to go. And again, this is on the shoulder, so it's not impacting traffic. Just a reminder today, with our strong winds, watch the high-profile vehicles, both hands on the wheel. Some of those gusts can kind of rock you around in the car.
All right. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the summer, right?
Well, I mean, summer's always brutal. It gets there. It's just that what we're dealing with now isn't really foreshadowing.
I'm just messing with you,
summer.
girl. You know it.
Make sure you're getting your sunscreen. I almost put on 30 yesterday, and I looked at my skin and was like, I better go 50. It's that kind of time.
All right, coming up, it's a big day for Oklahoma City. City leaders will break ground this morning on the new Thunder Arena. It's going to be called Continental Coliseum. Coming up at 6, details on this project that's been in the making for years. It's next on News 9.
I'm Robin Marsh, 6 a.m. on a Thursday morning, and right now on 9. It is a big day for OKC, the Thunder, and the new Continental Coliseum. City leaders breaking ground on the billion-dollar project this morning. What it means for the city coming up.
Plus, the governor reacts to a state Supreme Court ruling over hunting licenses and tribal members. Why the governor says all hunters in the state should be required to have one.
And strong winds, record-breaking heat mean a high fire threat all across parts of the state today. We're going to speak with Lacey Swope about the areas that have the highest risk.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Thursday morning. Glad you're with us. The story continues. It's dry, dry, dry.
We need the rain, yes. Burn ban for several counties across the state. Most of those last a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Oklahoma County now under a burn ban. It's been a while since we've had that. We saw fires yesterday to the west, northwest, and as we check in with Lacey Swope, Lace, just high fire danger, you have to be aware.
You do, and when you have temperatures like what we're going to see, I mean, it is kind of wild, the scenario that's playing out. So today we prepared for an even hotter day than what we had yesterday. We broke the record in Oklahoma City yesterday, getting into the low 90s. We'll be a degree or two warmer today. There'll be places in northwest Oklahoma that could break 100 degrees ahead of this cold front, and the winds being pulled up into the system strong out of the south. Tonight and tomorrow, a ripping north wind behind that boundary. Currently, as you're heading out, winds are not really out of control. They're pretty tame, 10 to 20, some gusts to 25. On our Lucky Star Skycam network, temperature has fallen to 63. It is very warm for this time of year. We should have 30s and 40s on this map. And instead, we've got mid-upper 60s for you're stepping out into temperature. 69 in Guthrie. It's 70 in Buffalo. 65 in Clinton. 63 rather in Lawton. And winds again, they're pretty calm for what we will see over the next 24 hours or so. They're 5 to 15. We just had gusts to 25 in El Reno, and we're going to get gusts 25 to 30 in the northwest. Now that increases drastically after daybreak. So temps will go from the 60s into the 70s by 10. It'll already be hot at lunchtime with sunshine, and then more like lake weather in the summertime in the afternoon. 92 for a high with south winds 25, 35. We'll have some occasional gusts close to 40. Now stronger winds are actually tonight and tomorrow morning, and then winds start to taper off, and some of us could have a few showers tonight because that cold front slams on in. There'll be areas that go from the triple digits to then a freeze as we head into portions of your weekend. Big time weather whiplash, it continues. Thunderstorm chances next week. We need the rain. What are we expecting? The timing of it, we'll have the full details in your 9-day forecast is coming up at 6:15. Back to you.
Oklahoma County is under its first burn ban since 2022. Under the ban, it is illegal to burn anything other than approved devices like propane grills. Those who violate the ban could face up to a $500 fine or possibly jail time. This ban remains in effect for 14 days, 2 weeks, unless county commissioners extend or rescind it.
6:03 your time right now. Let's get a check of the morning drive. Here's meteorologist Megan Gold. Megan?
Hey, good morning. Just an update on the crash that we've been talking about here for the past 30 minutes. Tow truck just pulled away, and that scene has now cleared. So great news there. A little bit of debris on the shoulder, but if you are traveling southbound I-35, you are good to go. Let me show you the map. Right now, that's been our only issue so far this morning there at Southeast 89, or really just north of Southeast 89, south of I-240. If you're just now joining us, that's our only issue out on the roadways that is now no longer an issue. Several shots to show you if you're commuting in from the west side, I-40 and MacArthur, looking off to the east, smooth sailing there. And then also down on the south side, if you are traveling northbound, I-35 looks good there as well. And as always, our shot of the Broadway extension, if you're coming in from the North Metro, it looks good. Reminder today, as Lacey's been talking about, the winds are going to gust to about 40 miles per hour. So both hands on the wheel, watch those high profile vehicles. Same deal as we head into tomorrow morning when the winds will be even stronger. We'll talk more about your traffic coming up here in just a little bit, guys.
Governor Kevin Stitt defending his stance on the state's push to require hunting licenses for tribal members. This comes after the state Supreme Court rejected the governor's attempt to reverse the Attorney General's opinion. That opinion says the state cannot prosecute tribal members for hunting on tribal land because it violates federal law. But the governor argues all hunters need a license.
I don't believe we should divide people based on race. There's some people that think they should have special treatment just because they're an Indian or they're a different race.
The state Supreme Court says the legal issue will be resolved in federal court, where a lawsuit filed by the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Cherokee tribes is ongoing.
Well, could layoffs be coming? Budget concerns continue for Oklahoma County commissioners. This after the Budget Board recently delayed a vote to move $2.6 million to help close a budget shortfall. Oklahoma County commissioners tell us right now that shortfall is more than $4 million. The chairman of the jail trust says he believes the gap creates potential safety issues inside the Oklahoma County Jail.
I'm worried about the potential of laying off people to jail. We either have to have more funding or that has to happen. I'm worried about what could happen inside the jail.
Dire situation. The chairman goes on to say the county has 30 days to find more funding to prevent those layoffs.
And to add to their problems, a bill that would have helped Oklahoma County fund construction of the new jail fails on the House floor. The bill would have allowed counties to add a 15% sales tax on medical marijuana sales to go toward first responders and dilapidated properties. It failed by 5 votes. County officials are watching another bill in the Senate that would add a 10% tax on medical marijuana. Also at the state capitol, a bill to protect kids at summer camp is moving forward. It requires youth camps to develop emergency action plans before receiving a license to operate, including evacuation routes. The bill was written after deadly flooding at a Texas camp last summer. It passed out of the House and now moves to the Senate.
Your time now, 6:06. Here at News 9, we love honoring teachers who are making an impact in the classroom.
Well, I tell you, there are so many great teachers, and this morning we honor Kendra Bigelow, a kindergarten teacher at Scissortail Elementary. Kendra has been teaching in Edmond for 38 years. The person who nominated her says she goes above and beyond to make sure her students are engaged and excited to learn.
Do you know an educator doing great things in the classroom? You can nominate them to be an impactful teacher by visiting news9.com/teacher.
Check this out. Sooner fans gather on campus to see the women's basketball team off to the Sweet 16.
Oh, it's an exciting time. The Sooner women's left for Sacramento, and they will be playing South Carolina Saturday afternoon in the big dance.
Yeah, it's a second straight trip to the Sweet 16 for OU. Our Chris Williams will make that trip to Sacramento this morning. We'll hear from him about game preps tomorrow morning. Oklahoma had that big win in overtime against South Carolina. I believe that was back in January. So
it's going to be a
good
game.
Yes.
They need everything to be working.
Come on, Coach Jenny.
There you
she
go.
has got them ready to go. We're ready to go for the forecast on your Thursday morning. Here is Lacey Swope in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey, it's an exciting time of year.
Oh, it definitely is. And temperatures should be very comfortable where you get outside and it's very nice. This is usually when we have some of our most beautiful afternoons. Well, it feels very much like summertime. Yesterday, we were in the 90s, shattered the record high all the way up to North Dakota and Montana, dealing with record-setting temperatures under this heat wave and this heat dome. Today, the cold front rolls through the plains. It doesn't reach Oklahoma City until tonight. So we're back for another summer-like day today. And with that comes high fire danger and a lot of wind. Your wind timeline is coming up.
Still ahead on News 9 this morning, a community gathers to celebrate the life of a Goldsby firefighter, a volunteer firefighter. How those closest to him honored him at his service, you'll hear.
A nationwide fire truck backlog is causing concerns for an Oklahoma fire department. The lawsuit one city just filed seeking millions in damages.
And long lines at airports don't seem to be ending anytime soon. The latest DHS funding deal that was rejected. It's after the break.
Our latest episode of the Beyond the Forecast podcast releases later today. It's a great discussion.
Yeah, Lacey, you and David talking about our busy start to 2026, tornadoes, winter storm, wildfires, and record heat.
It's just weird how we've had these extremes. I mean, January, then we just shut it off for February with the fires, then we ramped it back up. And now, as we're getting into mid to late March, it's mid-March, we're kind of going quiet again.
We just keep throwing everything at you.
Yeah. And it's all the extremes. So we can't seem to find a medium here right now.
That's not a good commentary. The episode drops today at 3 on our News 9 Weather YouTube channel. This has really got everyone's attention about how volatile it's been.
Yeah, and how we've had an EF3 tornado that was in Beggs, a very strong tornado, multiple EF2s. Most were weaker than that, but we go through all of that on our podcast, and you'll see that today at 3 o'clock. One of the big things was on one of the events on a Friday, we had severe weather over in eastern Oklahoma. My little sister was having a baby, and she was in the hospital. Everything was fine and great, but twice during that day, the day of this new baby being born, and all these mothers, they had to wheel all of labor and delivery out into the hallways because they did a code black in the hospital because of the tornadoes.
Taking shelter.
Taking precautions. And it was just wild to see that. I know the folks that work in hospitals are very familiar, see that every day play out when it's wild.
Did she name the baby Stormy?
That's
what I was wondering.
I tried. A baby, a birthday. Are you kidding me?
Are you joking?
It was wild, but yeah, she's petrified of storms. So we go into all of that with the podcast and how that all played out.
3 o'clock today, all
3
right?
o'clock today.
How are we doing this morning?
Getting your babies ready for
Yeah.
school today.
There you
It
go.
is so warm already this morning, guys. We're close to what our afternoon high should be for
Really?
this time of year. We're in the 60s. We've had some 70s for overnight lows, and we're warming today back into the 90s with sunshine. South winds at times 20 to 30 miles per hour. I think we'll see gusts closer to 40 at times. And just remember, burn bans, they are continuing. Many counties have been under burn bans off and on for months now. Oklahoma County was added yesterday. It is illegal to burn. You can still grill outside. You can still do those things, but you cannot burn your trash. Not that either. You also can't burn your property. For Pottawatomie, Seminole counties also under a burn ban. It is illegal. Grant County, 21 counties are under a burn ban. We had big fires yesterday, several off into eastern Oklahoma. I swear most of Osage County and those grasslands, the prairie, had they been burning like crazy. Had a big fire where the smoke made it all the way to Cherokee. That was just south of Butler. Let me show you video from Bob Mills Sky News 9. Mason Dunn was up in the air. We also had Kyle Wilson at the ground showing you the video there. Planes were landing and scooping up the water from Foss Lake, which is about a quarter mile away. Thankfully, had a good water source, and dumping that on that fire line along with the fire crews on the ground, spraying it, letting it burn through those cedar trees where it just explodes. And luckily, even though there were some evacuations south of Butler, no homes or outbuildings, nothing like that was lost yesterday. Today, winds could burn much quicker, expand much faster due to how strong our winds will be. So let me show you right now the fire threat for today. It is high. Winds will be 35 to 40. The humidity 10 to 15%. Drought and dormant vegetation, of course, allowing tons of fuel for those fires. We're greening up. We are slowly but surely. If we got some good rain in here, it would really help to flip that switch and we would turn very, very green. Some areas are doing that. We got a big cold front coming in from the north. So while we have a hot south wind today, tomorrow it'll be a ripping north wind, and with that system there's some moisture and we might get a few showers, some drizzle, a few sprinkles tonight and tomorrow, but for most you're going to notice the wind today. By tonight and tomorrow it's going to be a very strong north breeze. So how strong as you head out this morning? Well, I don't think you really need the rocks in the pockets of the kiddos currently. Winds are not that crazy. They're at times gusting to 20. It's 63 on our Lucky Star Skycam network. That's the temp, not the wind gust. 69 in Guthrie, 68 in Shawnee, 67 in Kingfisher. These are very warm temperatures for morning lows. Winds are 10 to 20 and we're getting some gusts to 25, and afternoon highs climb back into the 90s. We're scorching hot today. 95 in Lawton, 94 in Clinton, up to 100 in Alva, in Guyman, and then the cold front hits, and with that, we will see humidity really drop off today. The humidity's higher tomorrow. Here's a look at what humidity will be as we head into the afternoon, down to as low as 5% in our panhandle. That just allows those fires to have more fuel to spread so much more rapidly whenever the air is that incredibly dry. How strong are the winds this afternoon? Well, here's lunchtime, 35 to 40 mile-an-hour gusts. That would move a fire and cause it to advance so rapidly. Tonight, the cold front hits and watch your wind gusts now coming out of the north, complete opposite direction. We'll have gusts 35 to 40, and for a while between 9 a.m. and noon tomorrow, we could have gusts 50 to 55 miles per hour down into the southwest. And then by late tomorrow afternoon, winds are starting to come back down. I do think we'll have a couple showers try to develop tonight, kind of some patches of drizzle or very light rain. This won't help with the drought, but it will help kind of mitigate that fire threat tomorrow. A little drizzle up to the north. Look at your lows tonight. So right now we have 60s and 70s. Tomorrow, a strong north wind chills in the 30s and low 40s, and highs tomorrow, no 90s, we're back down below average in the 50s and 60s. With cloud cover, we may still have some showers into the afternoon and evening, but best chances will be down to the southeast. I wish it was statewide. We're just not there yet. Advancing to Saturday, a light freeze in northern Oklahoma in the morning, 38 in the afternoon. And if you have big weekend plans, the winds come back down and we're not nearly as hot. Saturday's absolutely gorgeous. Highs right around average in the lower and mid 60s, some 70s out in the panhandle. We are warmer on Sunday, back to the 80s. Hot Monday and Tuesday, another front hits, and with several storms lined up next week, we'll have some thunderstorm opportunities. Might have some severe weather to contend with, and we sure need the rain, guys. It's looking better and better for next week. I'll send it back to you.
Your time now 6:18. Here are some national headlines across the U.S. this morning. First off, we can tell you crews have now removed the Air Canada plane from the runway following that deadly crash at LaGuardia Airport on Sunday in New York. It's now in a secure hangar where remaining baggage and belongings will be handed over to passengers. The crash killed 2 pilots and injured 40 passengers. All but 4 passengers have now been released from the hospital.
Hard to believe, but today marks 2 years since the collapse of Baltimore's Key Bridge. It was hit by a large container ship that lost power after leaving the port of Baltimore. 6 construction workers who were on top of the bridge working actually died. Reconstruction of the bridge is expected to be complete in the fall of 2028.
President Trump is weighing next steps to help with crowd control at airports across the U.S. This as unpaid TSA workers continue to call in sick. Republicans denied the latest counteroffer to fund some DHS agencies. The president says they will send in the National Guard if needed. TSA says it could be forced to close some airports if a deal isn't reached soon.
Your time now 6:20. Want to check in with meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us, the commute, how we're shaping up on a Thursday. Hey, Megan.
Hey, good morning. Roadways are looking great. We did have that crash in the southbound lanes of I-35 about 45 minutes ago. But I want to start here by showing you just how big this flip-flop that we're doing from today to tomorrow will be. Picking out Alva because I think you will have the most extreme kind of temperature difference from today. A high of 100 degrees. Tomorrow, your high is 60 degrees. So 40 degrees cooler here in Oklahoma City, about 30 degrees cooler. So we are just kind of all over the place as we've been talking about. Now to get to your morning drive, here's the Broadway extension looking off to the north. If you're coming in from the north side, looking great there. And then the Dallas Junction, I-40 meeting I-35, morning drive picking up. If you commute in using I-40, it looks great. And then out on the east side, if you, well, I had I-40 at Air Depot for you, but that's our Chickasha Cam. Breezy winds this morning as we've been talking about. So overall, the morning drive looking great, guys. No accidents to talk about. And just remember, with those strong winds today and the wildfire danger, do not drive into smoke and just be careful with those strong winds. Back over to you.
Coming up next on 9, the war in Iran is making it more expensive to travel. What to know if you are planning on booking a trip soon. Welcome back. It's almost 6:30 on our Thursday morning. Time for Outdoor Forecast. Hi, Lacey.
Good morning. We got a really cool video sent in, guys, from Sayer. Now, this is from Joey, and what you'll notice in this video, it's kind of hard to see, and I'll slow it down here and show you in a second. Watch the center of your screen. There is a mama badger, okay, carrying her baby, which is such a rare thing to see. Like, badgers are more common, obviously, in western Oklahoma, but she has her teeny tiny baby in her mouth that she's moving. Joey was suspecting possibly from an area where there was more water that's dried up over to another water source on the other side of the highway. But how cool is that? So there's the badgers. These things are pretty big, by the way. If you've ever seen them out in the wild, not at the zoo, up close. Yeah, avoid. Okay. But look at that. How cool.
That's so cool.
I don't know how rare that is, but I mean, to see in a badger is kind of rare in Oklahoma anyway.
I've never seen one.
It's like trying to wake your teenager up. So
Exactly.
You're like, okay, come on, I got to get you out of here.
Get after it, sister. Isn't that cool? It's very awesome. All right,
So
keep
awesome.
the wildlife pictures and videos coming. We love to see those. Today is a hot one for sure. Drought rages on, wildfire danger, and a high today of 92 degrees with sunny skies. We need water to fill up those farm ponds. We have rain chances on your 9-day. We'll time it all out in full weather. Back to you.
Lacey, thanks. The war with Iran impacting travelers here in Oklahoma as jet fuel costs spike, causing airfares to rise.
United Airlines says its ticket prices could increase by 20%. Travel experts say if you are planning a trip in the near future, consider purchasing those tickets now.
Chances are prices are going to be high and maybe even rising. So it's probably not a bad idea if you know that you're going to be flying this summer or even into the fall. Start looking at those airfares now, and you may want to lock in.
Even with the higher prices, AAA says people will still travel but spend less on other expenses.
Even taking a road trip instead of flying is costing more. Right now, AAA says the average price for a gallon of gas in Oklahoma is $3.25. That's up 83 cents from last month, but Oklahoma's still better than the national average, which is $3.98.
Coming up here on News 9, if you're wanting to run the full Memorial Marathon, you're going to have to join a wait list. The race now sold out. When you can add your name to that list ahead.
Plus, this caught our attention. Oklahoma County now under a burn ban. What it means for residents, we're talking about it after the break.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
He would leave his home in the middle of the night to come serve this community. Putting out fires, going on medical calls. Why? Because he loved you. He cared about you.
A heartbroken community says goodbye to fallen Goldsby Volunteer Fire Chief Brian Jenkins. Loved ones and fellow first responders packed the Goldsby Church yesterday to honor Jenkins' decades of service. He and Todd Pendleton both lost their lives responding to a crash last week. Pendleton's service is set for Saturday.
And a Metro man pleads guilty to first-degree manslaughter in a deadly crash. Investigators say that man, David Gellenbeck, was drunk when he rear-ended a car in Mustang last February. 54-year-old Theresa Matthew, a beloved mail carrier from Binger, was killed. 3 other people were injured. Gellenbeck will be formally sentenced on April the 30th.
And a Norman police officer is out of the hospital this morning after being involved in a bad crash. Police say the officer was responding to a separate crash with lights and sirens on Tuesday night when a car turned in front of the officer, causing the crash. The officer was treated and released. The other driver was not hurt.
Another hot, dry day today as we're eyeing another day of fire dangers.
All right, ready or not, here we go. Lacey, help us out here.
Well, we're starting off warm already. So it's 6:30 on your Thursday. We have 60s and 70s. As you head out, by the time you're coming home from work, from school later this afternoon, we will be close to record highs. Many areas will crush the daily record back to the 90s, some triple digits. There's a big cold front to the north. So our heat wave ends tonight as that boundary moves on in. Now, with those storms colliding, the very warm air and the cold air to the north, we have a lot of wind in the forecast, and we'll have a chance for a little rain heading into tonight. We're bone dry currently on your morning drive. Megan will have your full update in just a minute. 63 degrees is the temperature. It's 67 in Kingfisher. They're upper 60s to the north, low 60s, a few 50s in the southwest. Winds right now are out of the south and kind of out of the southwest orientation. Now, the direction matters because southwest winds tap into the very dry desert air down over New Mexico and pulls it up over the state. So our humidity tanks today. When you crank up the wind, you drop the humidity, and you really ramp up temps, fire danger is high. And we already have the drought conditions, so our fire danger is a big concern already. 92 is the current temperature, or the afternoon temperature. It could be awful if it was the current temperature. 92 is the record, and we will tie that. 95 in Enid, 100 in Alva, 100 in Guyman, 97 in Altus with high fire danger. And we'll be talking much more about what to expect with that cold front tonight, the rain chances in the forecast, and we have thunderstorms possible next week, maybe severe weather as we head into that first week of April. All those details are minutes away. Back to you.
Lacey, thank you. Several counties across the state under that burn ban. Oklahoma County added yesterday. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us live with why officials are putting that ban in place now. Brianna, good morning.
Good morning, Colby. Yes, the last time that Oklahoma County issued a burn ban was back in 2022 until yesterday. Now, Oklahoma County Emergency Management Director David Barnes says this is because of strict state requirements. Now, he says that under state law, counties have to reach a severe drought level before a burn ban can be issued, but a Senate bill is working to give local officials more flexibility.
Be more proactive, as opposed to waiting, okay, I've got to wait till it dries out some more. But in the meantime, we could have significant issues, and we've seen that occur.
Now, Senate Bill 1550 removes the 3 levels of drought conditions required to issue a burn ban. And under this ban, county commissioners could issue a burn ban with a unanimous vote for 7 days if there was a significant risk to public safety. Here live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown for Oklahoma's own News 9.
Brianna, thanks. Keep in mind, under the burn ban, it is illegal to burn grass, fields, or wildland, as well as trash or debris. Campfires or bonfires also illegal under that ban.
6:35 on a Thursday morning. We've had some bad crashes already, and maybe another one popping up right now. Megan's on top of things. Megan, how are we looking?
Hey, good morning. Hearing of a crash that may have just happened in the southbound lanes of the Broadway extension at Wilshire. We're going to work to get a crew there and confirm if there is a crash and if it's causing a backup. This is the view from our Stephen Owsley. He's monitoring traffic right now, and otherwise everything is looking good. So I'll take you to Links 1, show you several other shots here on the Broadway extension. We've got something happening here. Maybe someone got pulled over, maybe some type of fender bender, but it is not impacting traffic. So if you're coming in from the north side, again, we may have a crash in the southbound lanes at Wilshire, and we'll work to confirm that. Here's I-44 at North 10th looking off to the north. And Lacey, if you could, I did it again, if you could hit the button for me. I've got I-40 and Air Depot. Thank you so much. Out by Tinker, looks good there. So guys, I'll get more information on that crash that may have just happened again, southbound lanes of the Broadway extension at Wilshire. Back over to you.
We can tell you right now, the Able Commission of Oklahoma is looking for more details about the suspect in a drunk driving crash that killed an 18-year-old student from Coweta. Police say the suspect, Levi Crawford, was drunk when he crossed into oncoming traffic and struck Isabella Clay's car head-on. Isabella died at the scene. Well, now investigators want to know the last place Crawford drank alcohol that night, where he was just before the crash on March 7th. He was arrested for first-degree manslaughter.
Well, more than 20 pounds of meth is found in a semi-truck during a traffic stop. That driver could now face up to life in prison. Investigators say a state trooper pulled Jose Morales Gutierrez over down in Custer County earlier this month. A canine alerted the OHP troopers there to the drugs. And look at what they found in the back of that big rig. The suspect, Morales Gutierrez, has been charged with possession with intent to distribute.
Races at the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon selling out. In fact, the full marathon already sold out faster than ever before.
Wow, but you still have a chance to run. Race officials will open a wait list today at noon for the full marathon.
There you go. And as spots open up, then you will be added to the list to compete. And other races are still open. You definitely want to get your name in there. The marathon is 1 month from today.
It's really a great problem to have. It means people are rushing to sign up again, and there are 25,000 runners going to run through Oklahoma
From all
City.
over the world, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many still getting those practice runs in. Do it maybe early this morning, on the earlier side.
They're on some long miles now, aren't they?
Exactly. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Which direction should they run, Lacey, with the wind?
Well, with the wind, will be from south to north, but tomorrow it's going to be north to south. So we've got complete change here of the wind direction. The speed, though, is strong. We're talking winds at times 20, gusts to 40. Tomorrow we'll have gusts close to 50 miles per hour. And what a warm start. By 10 a.m., we'll be in the 70s here in Oklahoma City, 92 for an afternoon high, but that cold front crashes in tonight. Some see rain, a few showers. We'll have all the details coming up.
And still ahead, overpaid and not delivered on time. Why the city of Shawnee is pushing back against a fire truck manufacturer. It's ahead.
Plus, a historic day in Oklahoma City. Crews break ground this morning on the new billion-dollar Thunder Arena. It will be called Continental Coliseum. We're live from the construction site right after this.
Watching the morning drive for you right now, Megan is updating one of the wrecks in the metro. Megan, what do you have?
Hey, well, as I mentioned earlier, we have a crash in the southbound lanes of the Broadway extension at Wilshire. And if we could take links 1, I'll show you exactly where this is. This is going to be impacting the drive from the North Metro Edmond down into Oklahoma City, again in the southbound lanes of the Broadway extension at Wilshire. And here's that shot. It's starting to be a little slow going. It doesn't look like it's blocking any of the lanes. It's looking like they're trying to get everything off into the shoulder, but emergency management just showed up on the scene there. So starting to slow down some. If I were you and you're leaving Edmond to come into Oklahoma City, add a few extra minutes to that commute. Back over to you guys.
All right, your time now 6:42. Talking weather this morning. Beautiful start so far today.
Skies are clear. Temperatures, we've got generally 60, some 70s in a few locations, which is very warm, but we're going to be very hot later today. It's the coolest, of course, it's going to be all day right now.
Yeah. It's going to crank up.
It's really going to crank up. 90s are in the forecast. Record highs is what we are expecting. We're just starting to add some color and some light over the horizon as we're getting closer and closer to sunrise here. There are the shots across the area on our Lucky Star Skycam network. The winds, they are up. They're 15 to 20. We've had some gusts to 25, but you'll notice not a cloud in the sky. And just over the horizon, you can see some of the gray on some of these shots. That is wildfire smoke from the big fires we've had over the past several days, kind of trapped in the low levels. And of course, Megan has the updates on that wreck. That's the Broadway extension. Let me show you a closer look here on our Lucky Star Skycam network. 63 degrees is the current temperature. Watch out for folks headed southbound on the Broadway extension, and we'll have more updates on that crash coming up throughout the morning. Burn bans are in effect across the metro. We update you every day on this map because it changes about every day. Potawatomi, Seminole, and Oklahoma counties are the most recent. So Oklahoma City under a burn ban. It is illegal to burn your trash. It's illegal to have any fires going on your property. Campfire, nothing like that. You can, though, still grill, of course, and do those sort of things. But we've got the latest information on our website, news9.com. Back to the southwest, continue with burn bans there, south central Oklahoma. And today's another day where you just shouldn't burn. Statewide, due to how low the humidity will be, how high our temperatures crank up, and just exactly what our winds will be doing. Yesterday, multiple fires. Some of them got out of control off to the east. Osage County, but a lot of fires happening. Some of those have been just controlled, prescribed burns. The biggest fire in our area yesterday actually led to evacuations near Butler. David Payne and the storm trackers were covering that live. In fact, let me show you some of the video. We had the helicopter up over at Bob Mills Sky News 9. Mason Dunn was bringing you those aerial shots. Burned just under 200 acres and was advancing up towards Butler, which is why those evacuations took place. But man, crews did such a wonderful job as they do. Firefighters on the ground also had aerial support yesterday. They were scooping water out of Foss Lake, and 2 planes in tandem were dumping that water down the line, heading off that fire. So it was put out. No homes were lost. No injuries were reported. Could have been much worse than what it was. Of course, today, just be very careful. Watch what you're doing because winds really start to pick on up. Let me show you on radar. You look down with the cold front moving in. There's snow going on in the northern plains. There are showers with this storm system in portions of Nebraska and South Dakota, and we'll have a little rain with it as it arrives in Oklahoma. It's southbound and down this morning. It arrives in Oklahoma tonight. Ahead of it, we have a south wind feeding into it. 60s. It's 69 in Guthrie. That is so very warm. It's above what our typical afternoon high should be. Winds are 15, 20, some gusts a little stronger, but after daybreak, winds do pick up. We'll have sustained winds 25 to 30 and could have some gusts to 40. Highs today into the 90s. Similar to yesterday, but I think we're even hotter for folks in the west and the northwest. Look at the 100s from Alva to Guyman. Are you kidding me? Yeah, breaking records for sure today, especially in the west. And we're close to that record here in Oklahoma City. So with that, no surprise, high fire danger. Now that's going to take you from Tulsa all the way back down to Ada, near Sulphur, Lawton, and all to the west. Do not burn today. Our trackers will be out today. David will have updates for you, and if needed, Mason and Bob Mills Sky News 9 will bring you more aerial views. Hope it doesn't come to that, but it'd be easy for fires to spread rapidly today in these types of winds, 35 to 40. Watch what happens this evening. They're still over 30 miles per hour, and then tonight, after midnight, that cold front slams in. Now we got a ripping north wind, and the winds will actually be the strongest out of this whole 24-hour period period between about 9 a.m. and noon tomorrow. 40, 45, 50 mile per hour gusts. Winds out of the north continue into the afternoon, but they do come down as we head into the late afternoon and evening on your Friday. And the humidity is much higher tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow morning, with those winds moving in, we'll try to wring out the atmosphere and get a little drizzle. A couple showers in Oklahoma City, back up to Ponca, over to Tulsa, little light rain from Henrietta. And by tomorrow afternoon, we may still be tracking rain down in the south and southeast. Wish it was heavier. Wish these were thunderstorms with widespread wall of water, but that's not the case. We'll have cloud cover and some light drizzle, and a few sprinkles may amount to a couple 1/100ths of an inch. Lows tonight will be in the 40s and the 50s, but very windy. Windy tomorrow, and that whiplash hits us because now highs no longer in the 90s and triple digits. Highs for tomorrow are in the 50s and low 60s, but feeling colder due to that wind. Rain will press down to the south and will dry it out and will clear out. In fact, by Saturday morning, low 30s. Check it out. Light freeze, Alva, Woodward, Ponca City. We don't see freezing temps in the metro, but we will have a chance for maybe some patchy frost. We'll talk about it as it gets a little closer. We'll see what that humidity does. Saturday afternoon, upper 60s with a light south breeze. Saturday looks gorgeous. Sunday, you'll notice the 80s. We start to heat back up. Upper 80s Monday, 86 Tuesday, and several upper level storms approach next week, bringing us finally good chances for rain and thunderstorms, maybe a little severe weather. We'll talk about as it gets closer. Send it back to you guys.
Lacey, thanks so much. Coming up after the break, the years of planning that pay off for Oklahoma City leaders. What breaking ground today on the new $1 billion arena means for the city. It's all coming up after the break.
And ahead on News 9 at 9, it's time to batter up in downtown Oklahoma City. We're live from Bricktown Ballpark ahead of the Comets season opener. We're back after this.
We are following breaking news, a crash on Broadway Extension. You're looking live right now. You can see the flashing lights. The crash is in the southbound lanes just before you get to Wilshire. And the backup caused by this is past Britain at this point, so about a mile backup. That's off on the shoulder, as you can see, but it's still slow going, maybe some looky-loos as they're coming south on Broadway Extension. We did see an ambulance at the scene, so there may be some injuries. We're trying to find out more details, but if you're about to hit the road, Broadway Extension southbound, just before you get to Wilshire, there is a crash off to the shoulder. Construction begins this morning on the new Oklahoma City Thunder home, Continental Coliseum.
We're going to take a live look on the construction site. Here it is on the Bob Mills Arena Cam. We have extended coverage of this morning's groundbreaking ceremony. It begins at 10 a.m.
And kicking off team coverage this morning, News 9's Kylie Dedman is live outside the future home, where in just really a couple of hours, shovels will be hitting the ground. Kylie, good morning.
Good morning, y'all. Excitement is building in downtown as Oklahoma City gets ready for an historic moment, the groundbreaking of Continental Coliseum, which is the future site of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The $1 billion arena will be built in the heart of downtown, just right across the street from Paycom Center, where the Thunder will continue to play until Continental Coliseum is complete. Now, this has been years in the making, with voters approving the project back in 2023. The state-of-the-art Coliseum will reshape how downtown will look and feel. Renderings show a modern, fan-focused design aimed at creating one of the loudest and most exciting atmospheres in the NBA, meaning Loud City is only getting louder.
It's unlike anything that's been seen in the marketplace. The glass exterior, the interior bold tightness. It's a unique building.
And this morning's ceremony is more than just a new building being built. It sets the tone for this next chapter here in Oklahoma City. Reporting live just right across the street of where the future home will be, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Can't wait for this morning, and you'll be able to watch it all right here on News 9. It starts at 10 this morning. We will be having live coverage of it and streaming it live on all our platforms. We're back after this.
Welcome back. A bill that would require people who are charged with domestic violence to wear GPS ankle monitors passes unanimously out of the state Senate. It would apply to anyone who's charged in domestic violence abuse cases. They would have to wear a GPS tracker in order to get out on bail. It would also allow the victim to get phone alerts if that abuser's location is close by. It now heads to the House.
The city of Shawnee files a federal lawsuit against fire truck manufacturers, claiming that the city overpaid for trucks and waited too long to receive them. City officials in Shawnee say it's putting the community in danger. The lawsuit claims these companies worked in conspiracy with each other to minimize competition and then raise the cost. The lawsuit doesn't say how much the damages they are seeking, but it could be in the millions. Megan's here watching the morning drive. Got a big snag on Broadway Extension.
We do. This is going to be in the southbound lanes of Broadway Extension right before you get to Wilshire. And it looks like it just cleared up, guys. So that's great news for the morning commute. Again, that crash was at the Broadway Extension right before we got to Wilshire. Otherwise, the roadways are looking great. That is Joey's shot right now, and traffic doing just fine there on the Broadway Extension.
Hey, it's a big day for Oklahoma City, breaking ground on the new Thunder Arena. We know it's going to be called Continental Coliseum. The groundbreaking's at 10 o'clock this morning. We'll have live coverage for as long as that ceremony lasts right here on News 9. They could use some good weather for that ceremony.
The skyline's going to look so much different. It's so wild to think about and try to picture how different, how really just high tech Oklahoma City's going to be. Already high tech. We're going to be very warm as you head out this morning. 60s, 70s. It's going to be in the 90s this afternoon. One thing to note, the winds today and tomorrow will be ripping. So high fire danger tomorrow. We might have a few showers to track on Next Gen. We'll have updates throughout the day.
Gosh, we need the rain. That's for
It's
sure.
so bad. Next week we'll have some heavier rain and thunderstorm chances.
All right. Hey, thanks for sharing time with us here today. Don't forget that live coverage that starts right after News 9 at 9 a.m.